I'm gonna go over every bad decision made in A Nightmare on Elm Street and explain what I would have done differently. So, quick setup. You got 4 teenagers, Tina, Nancy, Glenn, and Rod, all having nightmares about the same dude. Burned face, red and green striped sweater, razor blade glove. His name is Fred Krueger. And the whole thing is, if he kills you in your dream, you actually die in real life. That's the situation. Now let's get into it. The first bad decision is Tina going outside alone at night. So Tina already had a nightmare where Krueger slashed her nightgown and she woke up with the actual cuts on her body. Real cuts from a dream. Because of this, she got her friends to come do a sleepover at her place so nobody is alone, which honestly is pretty smart. But then she hears rocks hitting her window in the middle of the night. Rod is literally in the bed right next to her. Does she wake him up? No. She just goes downstairs and walks outside by herself in the dark to check it out. And this is honestly the one that gets her killed. Now, the next one is Rod running away after Tina gets killed. So Freddy attacks Tina in the dream, and Rod watches her body get slashed and dragged up the wall by something he can't even see. She gets thrown across the ceiling and she's gone. Rod panics and runs out of the house. And I get the panic, I really do, but running was the worst thing he could have done. He's the only other person in the room, his girlfriend is dead, and he ran. From a survival standpoint, he just made himself the #1 suspect instantly. Nancy's dad is a cop and arrests him for Tina's murder almost immediately. And now Rod is in a jail cell, a room he literally cannot leave. And sure enough, Freddy gets to him in his sleep and makes it look like he hanged himself. If Rod just stays, wakes the whole house up, and says something invisible killed her, yeah, people probably think he's insane. But he doesn't go to jail. And if he doesn't go to jail, Freddy can't trap him in a cell. Staying put saves his life. Running away ended it. Next bad decision is Nancy falling asleep in the bathtub. So at this point, Nancy is trying really hard to stay awake. She doesn't want to sleep. So she gets in the bath and she just immediately nods off in a bathtub full of water. I don't even need Freddy Krueger to make this dangerous. You can drown in a bathtub all by yourself. Normal people do it. And Nancy already knows something is wrong with sleeping. If you are scared and exhausted and you are fighting to stay awake, the absolute last place you should be is lying in a tub of water. Sit on the floor, splash cold water on your face, drink something, do literally anything except lie down in water. This is like 2 ways to die for the price of 1. Now this next one is just plain stupid. It's Glenn falling asleep on watch. So Nancy has a plan. She's going to fall asleep on purpose, go into the dream, find Freddy, and pull him out into the real world as proof that he exists. And she needs Glenn to watch her and wake her up if it looks like she's having a nightmare. One job. That is Glenn's one job. Glenn falls asleep right there next to her. Nancy ends up stuck in the dream watching Freddy walk into Rod's jail cell. She is screaming, trying to get out, and when she finally wakes up, it's because her own alarm clock went off. Not Glenn, the alarm clock. And because of that, she couldn't warn Rod in time, and now he's dead. If your friend specifically tells you this is life or death, stay awake, you figure it out. You stand up. You set a backup alarm. You do jumping jacks. You call someone on the phone and talk all night. You do not sit down right next to them and drift off. Rod is dead because Glenn could not stay awake for 1 night. Now this next one isn't really a decision by the kids, but it makes everything so much worse. It's Nancy's mom hiding information. So they go to a sleep clinic where they monitor Nancy having a nightmare. And when she wakes up, she has somehow pulled Freddy's actual hat out of the dream into the real world. Physical proof. And written inside the hat is the name Fred Krueger. Nancy's mom clearly recognizes that name. You can see it on her face. But she just plays dumb. Then she goes home, puts iron bars on all the windows, and keeps drinking. She knows exactly who Fred Krueger was and what the parents on Elm Street did to him and why this is happening. And she says absolutely nothing. If she just sat Nancy down right there and told her everything, Nancy could have made a real plan way sooner. Instead, she is running out of time, running out of sleep, and putting it all together herself while people are dying around her. And now the dumbest decision in the entire movie. Glenn falling asleep at home. At this point, Glenn knows everything. He knows about Freddy. He knows the one rule is do not fall asleep. Nancy has a plan for that very night. She is going to pull Freddy into the real world and she needs Glenn on standby. Glenn goes home, gets into his bed, puts the TV on his chest, and falls asleep. Not on watch for someone else this time. Not caught off guard. Just at home, in his own bed, of his own free will, knowing full well what happens if he closes his eyes. And Freddy pulls him through the mattress. The entire bed becomes a geyser of blood shooting straight to the ceiling. It is one of the most famous deaths in the whole movie, and it is completely self-inflicted. I'd say Glenn has about a 0% survival instinct at this point. I mean, what do I even say? You could stand up, you could walk around your room, you could call Nancy and just talk to her all night. You chose to lie in bed with a TV on your chest. That is not staying awake. That is a countdown. And the last bad decision is Nancy walking away from Freddy while he is on fire. Okay, I have to give Nancy credit here because she is genuinely the smartest person in this entire movie. She does research, she rigs her whole house with booby traps, tripwire on the stairs, a sledgehammer on a string, a light bulb to the face, fire. She pulls Freddy out of the dream and he hits every single one, and then she lights him on fire. He is literally on fire, she has him, and she walks away to go get her dad. She leaves a supernatural killer burning in her living room and goes to find her dad. And by the time she gets back, the fire is out and Freddy is back up attacking her mom. I get wanting backup, I do, but that is the moment. That is the only moment. You do not leave that room when you finally have him. You stay on him. You stay right there. So yeah, that is how you survive a Nightmare on Elm Street. Don't sleep in dangerous places. If someone asks you to stay on watch, stay on watch. Don't run from a crime scene. And if you manage to light Freddy Krueger on fire in your living room, do not leave that room. The wildest part though is that the actual solution, the thing Nancy figures out at the very end, is that Freddy runs completely on fear. The second she stops being scared of him and tells him he is nothing, he starts fading. That was the move the whole entire time. Honestly, the best survival strategy in this whole movie was just to not be scared of the guy. Easier said than done when a burnt dude with knife hands is chasing you through your own dreams, but now you know.